Hey guys, it's Moon Pies, and I have MoviePass on my mind. Now, if you're one of the 2 million plus subscribers of MoviePass, or you're on the sidelines thinking, hey, I've been hearing a lot about MoviePass, I want to get in on that service, you're probably having a lot of second doubts these days. MoviePass is rolling out a lot of changes, and to be fair, it was going to happen. It was inevitable. The original $9.95 a month plan where you can see a single movie every day was never going to work. The model never made financial sense. $9.95 a month was this thing shouting from the rooftops to just get people to sign up, to scale quickly. And eventually they'd get to that point where, all right, we're done. Now let's show you what we really got. Pull down the curtain. The problem here is that unlimited movies for $9.95 a month is impossible. Impossible as a business. So if you're feeling bamboozled or if you're feeling like there's bait and switch now with all these changes happening, keep in mind that MoviePass wasn't laughing all the way to the bank. They were more like bleeding all the way to the bank. Let's take you back to August 2017. That's when Helios and Matheson Analytics bought a controlling stake in MoviePass. And they bought what was first a 57-58% stake in MoviePass. Back in December, it became 92% of the company. But they came in with buying this brand. I mean, MoviePass was sort of established. Everyone knew what it was. But it was a failing service. It was only had 20,000 subscribers at the time. They were paying an average of $30 a month. And in the past, they paid up as much as $50 or even up to $99 a month for some metropolitan markets for some active users. So they bought in, and the first thing they said, all right, let's really, let's turn up the volume. Let's price this at $9.95 a month. And right away, it just made headlines. And within 4 months, they were at 1 million subscribers. 7 weeks after that, so 6 months after they announced the original, less than 6 months, after they announced the original price dropped to $9.95, they were at 2 million subscribers. And the appeal here, obviously, is amazing that you could have this product. And it was just, demand was so much that MoviePass is a debit card. It's a MasterCard debit card, and you get it, and it's authorized. So you go, you're within your 100 yards of a movie theater, you can check in, you buy your ticket within 30 minutes of checking in, and it's authorized. So if it's a $13.50 screening of a movie for Black Panther, and that's what you get on your card, you could see $13.50 of that movie, or any movie really. $13.50 was the cap. So you go in, and it's authorized to that amount, you use it, and done. MoviePass is on the hook for that. 94% of the movie theaters that MoviePass works with, it has to pay them full price. Others, it has up to 20% off. They get up to 20% price break on the tickets and sometimes a little bit of help on the concessions, that they get some of the piece of that action. But for the most part, it's a money-losing proposition. So, MoviePass, it's not $9.95 a month what people are actually paying, MoviePass is paying for movies. We don't know that figure, but AMC, the largest multiplex operator in the country, said back in the third quarter of last year, so we're talking about the summer, the July, August, September quarter, that they're receiving $11.88 on average for a MoviePass. So from that very first ticket, they were in the hole. But look, even if it was $9.95 a month, $9.95 a ticket, if they were only collecting $9.95 for a ticket and everyone just saw that one movie, this would still be a money-losing business. You guys understand that, right? Because a business isn't trading a dollar for a dollar. Because MoviePass has a lot of expenses. They have salaries to pay. A lot of people, a lot of customer support, and just general executives have to get paid. There's marketing campaigns to bankroll. You see the Facebook ads on Facebook and other places. Those ads cost money, right? And then you have transaction fees, because it's not every time the credit card gets, whether it's you're charging it to your monthly payment or your quarterly or your annual payment, MoviePass doesn't get all that money. The credit card companies take a piece of it. And the same goes with movie transactions and stuff like that. So this was never going to be a model that worked, even if everyone spent the exact amount that the price was worth. You guys know that. So just like insurance is a product that most people wind up losing money on, and that's why the service works, because an insurance company has to pay out more, has to pay out less than it's taking in. MoviePass was never built on that premise unless nobody went to the movie. So the only profitable MoviePass subscriber is someone that does not use the pass. So think about that model. It's pretty weird, where only the dissatisfied customer who doesn't use it is the only one that's good for the company. So that was never going to work. So, question. MoviePass didn't say that. What they said is, we're going to come up with other ways to make this work. And they had plans. They said, we're going to sell ads. And sure enough, if you actually fire up the MoviePass app, there's like movies screening. Like right now, it's Kings. It's promoting the indie releases, not necessarily the Avengers: Infinity War, The Quiet Place, the stuff that everybody knows about. They're trying to promote some of the indie movies. And again, we don't know how much MoviePass is making from these ads, but I can assure you that is not anywhere close to the value of the ticket for the movie that it's going to pay if someone actually watches it. So ads for movies, which is all that I've seen so far through MoviePass, are not going to work. You can advertise for like maybe the DVD, Blu-ray that comes out later, or maybe related merchandise and stuff like that. There's opportunities there, but so far MoviePass hasn't tapped those things. But again, it'll never equate the opportunity of that $11.88 that they had to pay for you to watch A Quiet Place. So let's talk about that. So you have the ads were never going to work, not at the level of to support a ticket. Then they said, we're going to sell data. And you're thinking, oh yeah, sell data. I mean, we saw Facebook and what they got into their big hoopla about selling data. But beyond that, how much do you think MoviePass is going to get when they know that you saw Isle of Dogs 2 weeks ago? That means that's not very valuable to a company. They don't know a lot about you. They don't know your income. They don't know how you're spending money. They just know that you just went to see an animated movie about dogs 2 weeks ago. That is not valuable data. And even if you think, oh, well, I go to a lot of movies. I've gone to 20 MoviePass movies in a month. First of all, that's the reason why MoviePass is getting really desperate now, earlier than usual, because, people were breathing too much oxygen in this biodome that had a controlled amount of oxygen. But it's not going to be, that data is not that valuable. It's not $200 worth of data that you saw 20 movies and would have cost you $200 in tickets. That's not how data works. That's how selling data works. So let's talk about MoviePass. MoviePass is going to, right now they said that there were 2 million subscribers and they're watching 6% of the movies out there. So they're accounting for 6% of the sales. Their goal was to have 5 million members by the end of this year. And those members are going to be accounting for 20% of the box office. Now, if you think that's a noble goal and you think, oh, it could have gotten there. Yeah, that would be awesome. Do the math. Please do the math. Last year, domestic box office sales were a little more than $11 billion. Divide that by 5 to get to 20%. 20% of that is $2.2 billion. Now, MoviePass was saying that they were going to account for $2.2 billion, probably more, of the revenue generated from tickets by the end of this year. That's what they would be tracking, these 5 million members at that point. But 5 million people paying $10 a month would only add up to $600 million a year. So you're talking about a company that would actually be they'd be trading 33 cents for the dollar or something close to that. I'm not going to do quick math here, but it was a model that never was going to work at the current price. So we get to April 13th, the day the movies died. This was the day when they started the promotion with iHeartRadio, and they said, all right, $29.95 for 3 months, and you get you can only watch 4 movies now, up to 4. All right, so if you watch 1, 2, or 3, don't come later on asking to carry that over. You see one movie, then next movie you start next month, your new billing cycle, you start from scratch. So that happened. And you would get the iHeartRadio streaming app, but for most people, let's face it, if you're getting this bundle, you want the movie thing. And look, let's be fair. Paying it's almost $10 a month for 4 movies a month is a great deal for new members, if that's what they can do. And right now, that's all they can do. The unlimited model is not there. And as the CEO of MoviePass told the Hollywood Reporter basically last week that he does not know the unlimited model is coming back. They're still thinking things through. So that happened. Then 2 weeks later, 2 weeks after the day the movies died, that April 13th, Hellusa Matheson announced a stock offering. And, of course, they've always been saying, hey, we have hundreds of millions of dollars of financing available to us. We're fine. We can keep losing money. And just so we're clear on how much money they're losing, there's been some misinformation going around. There was a big headline when they filed their annual report that they lost $150 million in 2017. And a lot of people sort of started to extrapolate, all right, that's MoviePass. No. MoviePass did not close until December 11th, 2017. So it's only those last 3 weeks of MoviePass that are included in that $150 million. Most of that money is money lost on other things. So ignore all that. Good? All right. So the actual loss, they said they're losing $20 million on a cash basis over the last 6 months through the end of March on average. And this is a cash deficit, which, not to get too financial with you, but it doesn't mean that they're losing $20 million a month. That means that the actual cash coming in versus out. So if they sold like an annual pass for like $60, $70, as they have, that money counts like they got it now. So they're not prorating it like it would like for accounting. So for accounting purposes, the loss is probably a lot more than $20 million because they were selling a lot of these annual passes and encouraging people to pay a little less to pay up in advance. So there's that. But then we get to the stock offering that happened the day after they filed their annual report. Well, actually, it came at the same time, but it was the day right after it. And that's where they admitted that they conceded that they lost $20 million and that the auditor said that they don't know if it's a viable business model. So even the own auditor had their doubts. They wanted to price $150 million in stock and units, so stocks and warrants. Don't worry about what that means. They wanted to raise $150 million by offering new stock. Let's call it stock, even though it's technically stock and warrants. And it wasn't going to be all done at one time, but they just set up a deal with an underwriter who's been very friendly with them, an underwriter who had a $15 price target on the stock at the time and is bullish on the stock. Perfect. It turns out that even though the stock was at $3.83, sorry, the underwriter was only able to was sold, I mean, not only because that's what they were going to do, sold $30 million worth of the stock. So, and the stock, they sold the units at $2.75. So this was a 28% discount. So it wasn't, people were willing to buy the stock and the warrant, which is like came as a bonus, were willing to pay 28% less than what the stock was currently worth. So right away, Helios Matheson, their head must have exploded. They go, wow, if we're raising just $30 million, which is enough really to get us through a month and a half of the way things are going, and our stock's going to take a 28% hit every time we do this, and it won't be that way, of course, but that's just the example that had literally played out that one time. It's not going to work. So that's why they're probably getting a lot tighter. In my mind, I think the changes that are coming since April 24th, since they changed the terms of service, technically the 23rd, the 24th, right when Avengers Infinity War hit, were partly done anyway because it was a summer blockbuster season, but also because of what was going to happen to the fact that the cash crunch was coming. And here's a company that you have an issue where it's no longer this hot, sexy stock and these financing options, while they may be there. I think if Helios Matheson had ways to make more, instead of taking a 20% discount to take $30 million, they would have followed that financing route. So let's talk about the changes. The first is that they said on the 24th that you can no longer watch the same movie again. So you in theory, you could have watched, let's say, Black Panther in February, and then 2 weeks later you could have seen it again. You had it right, as long as that's just that one movie you saw a day. They said no more of that. And of course, some people are arguing, well, that breaks the rules because there are not 30 new movies coming out every month in my city, in my town. I can't see that. First of all, yes, there are more than 30 movies that come out in a month. They may not all be available in your local theater, but they do. And second of all, that's not the point. If you're watching 30 movies a month, you're the one that MoviePass wants gone, at least at that price point. So please understand that. So the change was for people, you can't repeat movies. And of course, with the new people that have been coming in since April 13th, they can only watch 4 movies. And no one should be surprised if MoviePass eventually says, all right, we're going to limit it to 4 movies. And they will still be losing money. They just won't be losing as much money as they were before. So MoviePass claims that 88% of their members watch less than 4 movies a month. So, and again, 4 movies is still losing money, but they're talking about the heavy users that would object to this 4-month will be 12%. And if you're in that 12%, first of all, kudos because you're a movie fan. Awesome for you. But MoviePass does not care if you are dissatisfied with the move. In fact, they would not mind if you would cancel at this point because you are using up the oxygen in that biodome that they have clearly limited oxygen from. So I think their plan all along was to hit 5 million and hope they can hold on. And then once they hit 5 million, they would be able to. That's when they would tighten the restrictions because obviously at 2 million now, they're not going to get to 5 million by the end of this year with the limits that they're putting in. So this is sort of a lot like, again, I'm not going to give a spoiler, but it's a plot point, so it's not a big deal. Right now, it's like Thor in Avengers Infinity War when at one point in the movie, and again, I'm not going to give a spoiler, but at one point he has to do something that could sacrifice his own health. I mean, it basically is a draining situation. Even my dog agrees. In order to create the tool that he needed to survive. And I think MoviePass at 5 million at the end of this year would have been awesome because it would have given them a lot of clout with movie theaters, with studios, with more deals that they have been trying to get indie distribution deals so that they can save some money on that. But of course it was not to be. And it's not to be. And instead of being angry about it, realize that people abuse the system. MoviePass just gave up on losing a lot of money. If it switches to 2, 3, or 4 movies a month, are you really going to cancel? And maybe if it was 1 or 2, you might, because there's really a lot of hurdles that you have to jump through getting the submit. And now with the MoviePass, you have to submit, more and more people have to submit a photo of their movie ticket stub to MoviePass to show them that you've seen that movie. And let's address that right now because If you don't know why MoviePass is asking you to take a picture of your photo stub and submitting it, it's because a lot of people, $9.95 a month wasn't enough for them to play within the confines of the rule. People were going in, they were buying a ticket, they were being authorized for $13.50, so they would, for whatever the movie was cost, so they would buy a ticket to a movie 2 or 3 days from now, and then when that day would come along, they would actually go in and buy a second ticket so they could take a friend with one MoviePass card. Or even more nefariously, they were just using it on concessions. They had a free ticket or something that they through their loyalty programs. They would rake up all these points. A lot of people just buy movies and just put in their like AMC and Regal points to just swipe it and not even go to the movies just so they build up these points so they can have free movies. There's an underbelly that's pretty ugly within the whole MoviePass community of stuff that was happening with the really active users. And again, as long as there were people willing to finance that, great. We know that Uber's losing a lot of money because their financiers are financing venture capitalists and private equity firms are willing to put up all you want for this. Not so with this model that's flawed from the start. So MoviePass, they made a promise they couldn't keep for the long haul. But we collectively killed the cash cow while it was still veal. It was still in its infancy, and I think it's not when MoviePass wanted to do this. I think it could have been timed right before, not just Avengers: Infinity War. This is the start of the summer season. Deadpool 2, Jurassic World coming out this summer, The Incredibles 2. A lot of big movies are coming out in the next few weeks. This is the time of year when they come out. So if you're going to be restrictive, you do it now. So there's a lot of things that went into play here, but I don't blame MoviePass. The model didn't work, and unfortunately, they didn't achieve that critical mass that would have made this awesome. But it's a business. And as it stands, it was never going to work. So take the changes. You can't fight it. Terms of services change all the time. If your next billing cycle comes around and they say, hey, you can only see 2 movies and they have to be dubbed in Korean, you're going to have to accept that or quit. And if you quit, that's the free capital markets. There'll be some other plan out there. But I think it'll probably be a lot more restrictive than the original MoviePass. So enjoy the last few days of this if you're an existing member. Enjoy it while it lasts because it won't. But, kudos to how things work. And let's hope MoviePass somehow survives this and finds a way to monetize the model so they actually continue to provide a better deal and still make a money. Let's make this a win-win-win deal as opposed to now this is sort of a customers win, movie studios win, but MoviePass doesn't. And that's MoviePass. That's my thoughts on MoviePass, and I may have some more later.